Now we will be having different types of mushrooms whose data we have with us and try to classify each different type of mushroom using random forest classification problems. So first we will import the required libraries in NumPy and Pandas and then read our mushroom dataset and see its first 5 elements using df.head. There is the class it belongs to, which is something we are trying to classify. And these are the features of the mushroom. Totally, we have 22 features. Okay, so there's one observation regarding these features that all these features are not numeric in number. And how do we convert them into numeric data? You have many methods to do that. Yes, encoding. And you have pandas get dummies, in which you convert categorical data into dummy or indicator variable. And this is the one hot encoded data. So one more thing is that we'll be exploring the IX label in the pandas database, but it's nothing but an indicator. It's like df.ilog if you had been through it before. Yeah, it indicates the particular index in the data set. Okay, so which what you can essentially in our statement, it is quite similar to that of the ilog variable. That's it, ilog command. So here we have completed the uh, selection of x and y. X is nothing but your training data, I mean the independent data, and y is the dependent data, which is the target to be. So now we'll be separating into train and test. The data set is quite big, so it takes some time. Just get into a small x dot shape. Huh. So we have 8,124 records in this set. So which is a fairly a good amount of data to classify upon. Now let us just load the random forest classification model from sklearn's ensemble package and define it as RCLF. So now how do we train the data? So we have fitted the data and very well it has quickly completed the training. We will just see a few metrics because once the model is trained, it doesn't mean that it's good to go. We have to see a few pass it through a couple of tests to see if this data is good to go into the real world. So how do we do this? We run this data, give tests to this model with data it has never seen before. That data is the validation data, which is in the X test. Okay, so metrics will be loading accuracy score to estimate the accuracy, recall score, and confusion matrix. So this is the size of X test, and we'll see the accuracy of this one. So it's 99.1% accurate, and recall score. That means the recall rate of true positive values is also pretty good, 99.6%, which is excellent. And this is the confusion matrix. So what do this and this do indicate? This is correctly, the ones in the diagonal, these are the correctly predicted values. These are the wrong, incorrectly predicted values. So now we'll just see the classification report. So it's pretty good. Precision is excellent, 99%. Recall 99%. F1 score 99. So this model is performing excellently well. So these are the columns in the data. And one more thing I wanted to add is the feature importances. It tells you which column, I mean which feature is more important in the prediction. So this is the feature. These are the number values basically. I will just show it to you in this format. Okay, now can you see this better? So I'll show it in a better visualization to you. Okay. Yes. So we'll try to plot which features are more important. Okay. I'll put feature. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't look good. Yeah. I'll try to increase the size. Okay. We have a problem. This one has like, I think, a lot of columns, which is going to be, I'll just show you DF shape is. Okay. We have 23 columns here. Okay. This is why it's mixed up. The labels are mixed up. So let us leave that aside and try to just analyze the feet dict. So what is feet dict? This is the column and how much importance it has. Okay. Greater the number, greater importance it has. Okay. Follow that formula. We have GIL spacing. Okay, which has over 20% importance. cap color 16% importance. Okay, so this is what it's showing. The maximum is 20% importance. Second is 16% importance, and rest are all below 10% importance. Okay, so this is the formula for precision, by the way. It is the number of true positives divided by number of true positives plus number of false positives. So this closes our random forest classification model with 99% accuracy. Okay, done. So next problem is going to be quite interesting. Just show it to you. We'll be exploring linear regression using sklearn's package. It's a Python library which hosts all the machine learning algorithms and the metrics and other operations we'll be performing. We'll first load the data. So I'll just knock off the outputs, all outputs, and then clear. Okay. So we'll be loading the data using pandas read CSV from a CSV file and just see the description of the dataset. So you just see the head, first 5 elements. So this is a very simple problem. So you just look at this and try to predict this. Okay. So I just built a small data set out of numbers trying to predict. I just put in a small formula to generate this data set. Okay. So what we will be doing in this exercise is that we will be taking X and trying to predict Y. Fair enough? Awesome. So we'll define the dependent and the independent variables. Dependent and the independent variables. Okay. And then following which we will do the train test split, which we had done previously. We'll split the data into training and testing on the basis of 67% for training and 33% for testing. As you can see, the test size is 33. And now we'll just split it. And these are the first 10 elements of X and the first 10 elements of Y. Okay. Right now, we'll be moving on to the linear regression implementation. So from sklearn's linear model package, we'll be importing linear regression algorithm, define the regressor as linear regression, fit it upon the data, which is basically a training model, and then get the predictions out. This is the model that we have made. And now we will try to see the predictions that are out. Okay. So one way of doing it, one good way of doing it is seeing the training accuracy. Basically, you are training the model up with the training data, right? Now, to see how it performs on the same training data which it learned, we will put the model, the training data for prediction and see how it performs. Okay. So the ones who are the points which are exactly on the diagonal, right, in this thing are correctly predicted. Okay. The ones on the sides are the incorrectly predicted ones. All right. So we have done this. I'll just repeat this activity. Okay. Now is it better? Just move. Now we will move on into testing the data upon the validation set. Okay. See here, we can say that it's almost the same as the training accuracy and testing accuracy are pretty much the same, right? Because see, some cases points will be here also. Here they'll be, here they'll be. That may be the case of incorrectly fitted model, right? But here, most of the points congregate towards the diagonal, which means that it is a pretty accurate model that we have built. Okay, I'll just run upon the testing data. So this is another test data set we have. Okay, from test.csv. This extra file I added to see how it performs upon the test data it has never seen before. Okay. So nothing. This is we're just defining x and y and plotting the predictions. So here we have the predictions. Can you see this? Okay. So this is the one. So since the closer the data congregates towards the diagonal in a regression problem visualization, the more accurate the model that you have built is. Okay. So we just get the accuracy score now and see how it performs in the testing data. So not bad. Regression accuracy is 99%. Okay, so we are now since we have tried linear regression right now previously. So let us see how we can implement a random forest regression model. Similar to what we had seen before in the random forest classification model, we will be using the random forest regressor model and fit it upon our data. Get the predictions out and see the independent variable and the prediction. And now we'll see the predictions now. Okay. 98%, right? So what is mean absolute error? It is the mean of all the predictions minus the predictions minus the actual values, the difference. Take the difference and compute its mean. That is the mean absolute error. Yes. So the lower the mean absolute error, the better the model you have built. Okay. So here the accuracy is high and the MAE is low. Okay. So this is also one of the metrics you follow in analyzing a regression model.